So we offed and puffed for football action, and here we are again. It's a full house. It's kicking it with Nairabet. My name is Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Swore, aka Swore, the Queen of Sports. And finally, I get to sit here again. Yubi, what's good, man?
I'm great.
Looking
Doing
dapper.
okay.
Looking dapper.
I mean, the rains have come, but I think we sometimes complain that the rains are too much, or rather, the sun is too much. So now the rains have come, and we're loving it, and football is back. So the only problem is that signal problem, because in the first night of football returning, you had I think it was the Arsenal night or Tottenham downpour. I was like, I waited all 3 months for this, but it's good to be back. It's good to have everybody here as well.
And I'm glad to say we have equal energy now. I have a lady in the house, Sylvia AKG, aka Offside. I think you prefer Offside. Offside. What think this up?
Yeah, I mean everything is up. One thing is certain, everywhere is wet. Are you wet? I can't say for certain.
Don't
but,
leave me. Don't leave me.
you know what I mean? It's been heavy, and the good thing about this season, we've been so down because of the pandemic. It's been boring. Things have been slow. But with football, and when football comes alive, the adrenaline starts pumping. We're happy. We forget about all other problems of life, and let's go. Let's get it.
This is why they runs football. I say, our baby, they talk about mind. They talk about. There's a guy that's already mourning because you're wearing black. Akin Alabi. What's good, man?
Yeah,
What's bad?
Everything is fine. Everything is good. We give glory to God. The rains are back, like you said, but I don't know why he's happy that the rains are back, considering that his car is so low and the water is already entering his car, and he's happy the rains are back. I just don't understand.
Maybe he plans to catch fish or something.
We give thanks to God all the same.
He can fish from inside his car in traffic.
That's it.
Well, I love black. When I put on t-shirts, I put on black. When I put on trout, I put on blue.
Yeah, I was going to say blue.
Okay, interesting colors, black and blue, just like the way your club was treated over the week. So
Blue. My club shooting stars of Ibadan, right?
Oh, right. Now we're all
I don't think you can hide that. I don't think you can hide that.
I'm coming back home.
Indeed. We have lots of football to talk about. We're going to jump into the Pogba situation, but if you want to be part of the conversation, you know what to do. Just join the Twitter family and the YouTube and the Instagram family at Nairabet or Kicking It with Nairabet, whichever platform you're on. Use the hashtag Nairabet or Kicking It with Nairabet. Now, back to the matter. Let me start with you, Pogba.
Yeah.
Is it that good, or his passes were just the same thing that we will see from people like Kante, Kroos?
Look. Everyone knows that Pogba is a fantastic footballer. He's proven that over the years.
Potentially.
No, it don't. No,
potentially. He has the potential.
No, potentially. What he's doing already, what he's done over the years. When he was at Man United as a teenager, potentially. But when he went to Juve, he showed the whole world what he could do with the football, what he could do on the football field. And he's come back to Manchester United, a bit of tops, here and there, but generally he's shown quality. And with his 30 minutes performance, how many minutes did he come in?
15 there, about 75 minutes.
You just want to say short time performance, but it's okay.
When he came in, we saw the difference. We saw the quality. We saw the quality that was lacking on the field of play. And when Pogba came in, we saw it. Ole must find a way to keep Pogba and Bruno happy. Everybody go hear him.
I like that you went that way because I know you're a Mourinho kind of person, but
Lover.
Me too.
Is it? So nobody hates Mourinho. So yes, finally,
It's a rarity.
very rare, very rare.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago, Mourinho came and said, because he was told he wasn't the best coach to coach people like Harry Kane, because it seemed like Harry Kane was less of himself in the fixture Tottenham versus Manchester United. So, question to you, do you feel he was right to say that he has used a lot of strikers already? So Harry Kane was just one of those that he was probably going to use as well?
Oh, well, I mean, the man has his records there that speak for him. I feel like, he's one of those managers that the English press, and of course, retired English players love to hate. That's how I like to put it. He has his record. I don't think one comes out to say Harry Kane is not the kind of player he can coach. Harry Kane has everything Mourinho would like in a player. He's physical, he can score, he can play with the team, he can do everything. He's a typical Mourinho striker, if you ask me. So I think that criticism was unfounded.
Now
Totally agree.
Okay. Let me die this Manchester United and Tottenham thing with this UB. Akin mentioned that you need to find a way to marry a Pogba and a Fernandes. Personally, I felt like that was the only highlight for the Manchester United team. So for them to get like a trophy winning kind of team going, what do you think OGS has to do?
Look, I think first it's important to mention world-class players generally can play together. You know, that is important to put out there. I don't think there's been any doubt whatsoever of Pogba's quality. The problem has been, is he committed to the project? If you've got a committed Pogba, then you don't have a problem. You know, if he's committed, I think we saw that at the World Cup. You know, he was getting everybody on side. He was talking, he was motivating everybody. And I've always felt if his agents and the people on his team can tell him, look, you're a great talent. Clearly, he's a great talent, but you've got to put your head down and work for the team. And maybe let the Pogba brand not suffer a little, but be a little bit more selfless. I think United have got a great player there, you know, and I think when you've got a Bruno Fernandes who has come in and obviously done what he's done, then it's easier to be Pogba, because before, if United don't play well, it's Pogba. If United play well, it's Pogba. If United don't make a pass right, it's Pogba. You've got someone else to shoulder that burden now. And I think when you look across the Premier League's midfield pairings or midfield tridents, you think City, De Bruyne, and of course, you know, De Bernardo, one of the Silvers, you think that one first, and you think Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. You know, then of course you can talk about Liverpool's tridents of accelerating midfielders as well. But I think he's now in a place where you can feel like the project is really solid, and hopefully they can kick on from there.
Okay.
Sorry, I would like to say something about this Pogba, Fernandes midfield. I'll be very glad to keep the secret, like to keep quiet and hide the secret to Manchester United's success. But I just have to say this. The truth is, you cannot have a Pogba and a Bruno Fernandes in that Manchester United midfield without it lacking what it needs. There won't be the balance. Let me read something. Let me just read something for you. This is an article that was written by Martin Samuel of certain. Yeah, he said that Pogba's casual. Because I know if I try to explain more, I'll have to use more time, spend more time and more words. That Pogba's casual approach to defense leaves his teammates with an increased workload that could inhibit Fernandes' style. Pogba likes to play forward, you know, play the fancy pass. He doesn't like to do the simple things, and that was the frustration Mourinho had with him. If you play him alongside a player like Fernandes would have to, which is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has tried to do. He has to force Fernandes to sit deeper, and Fernandes will have to try to, you know, cover for Pogba. What Pogba does up there, losing the ball, he does not have the discipline in him to track back, to chase around for the ball, to win the ball. What he needs is to get the ball and give it to him. In that case, Fernandes will have to limit his own contribution to the side, offensively especially. He would, you know, it's that balance would not be there. And I keep asking United fans the question, yeah, you guys rate Pogba, but it seems like most times they rate him based on his potential. You talk about what Pogba did in Serie A. There was a comment Lampard made the other day when he was still a pundit. He said, yeah, we'll talk about Pogba, he did well at Juventus, but how many of us genuinely actually watched him at Juve? You know, watched him game after game for 10 months. It's easy to go on YouTube and you get 5 minutes highlights of a certain player. Yeah, he's doing flicks, he's doing this. But do you see Pogba giving everything for the team without the off-the-field unnecessary distractions? And that is the problem.
But
seven times out of 10. Seven times out of 10.
Top assist.
You know,
all major statistics in the Premier League, not just
the distraction he brings. The distraction he brings off the pitch. Is it worth it? That's the question.
Not distraction.
Is it worth it? It's not worth it, and it's cost an imbalance in the team. It caused a distraction in the team when Mourinho was there. These are not things you need. It is better you have 11 average players in your side and are willing to die on the pitch. Are willing to willing to give everything on the pitch for the side, and they understand. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is not as talented as Pogba. But you see him committed. You see him wanting to do everything. Pogba is doing this, is doing that, is saying this, is tweeting this. All these things are unnecessary. Sometimes it's better you have certain talented players out of the team than to have them in the team and causing unnecessary distractions.
So
That's my take.
You don't think
but
Pogba...
guess what? As a Chelsea fan, I'll be very glad if you guys leave Pogba there, spend all the money, lose your money. Well, it's fine.
I'm going to throw this conversation to you online. If you feel like Manchester United need to have the combination of Fernandes and of course Pogba together at the same time on the pitch, and like Offside said, you know, get someone to do the dirty clean-up job, you can say what you want to say. And if you think otherwise, you feel like it's a great marriage, like the guys think, you say your piece, and we'll be right back after this break. Okay, I'm so tempted to say, oh, you're doing well. But if you're still watching, then definitely you're doing well. It's the Kicking It with Nairabet. I am swore the queen of sports, and I'm still with a full house. The energy is blasting, and I'm enjoying the female energy right here in the Nairabet office.
She's being very fiery off the camera.
It's fireworks everywhere. I wish you were here. I'm going to throw this to the resident Chelsea fan since you were busting up and down. Chelsea and the fight for top 4. What you say? First match in Aston Villa. What a conundrum.
I called it. I expected it. Chelsea will be in the Champions League next season. And, people talk about we have Liverpool, we have Manchester City to play away. But then again, it's beyond our games. We also have other teams around us. This past weekend, Leicester dropped points. They're now just 3 points above us. Manchester United dropped points. Sheffield United dropped points. All teams that are supposed to be, competing in that position with us. So it's not just about Chelsea's games. I expect Manchester United and other teams to drop points as well. But Chelsea will certainly make top 4. As things are, they could even make it into the third place. So I'm very hopeful.
I see you rubbing your hands.
No, I mean, it's just spot on. There's a bit of inconsistency around the top 4. The teams that are looking to do it, and you just feel Chelsea have acquired a lot of capital before the lockdown to more or less guarantee a place in that top 4. Obviously, you're not thinking about the CAS appeal with City because that could change the dynamics entirely. But I've always felt Chelsea will make a top 4, and people talk about Chelsea losing Eden Hazard, obviously, which is a great loss to have as a team. But they've got real quality, and amongst the managers, the young managers coming into the Premier League, Ole, Frank, Mikel Arteta, he is the one who is more than any of them proven that he can stamp his ideas almost immediately. And we saw that at Derby County. So I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that, he's the one that would, if there were a race, he would limp over the line before Ole and the rest. So what Chelsea are doing is not a surprise. And I expect them to make it top 4 quite easily.
Akin, do you call it Chelsea top 4?
Yes, definitely Chelsea top 4. And Lampard has done quite well. Not super Lampard, but not super Frank.
He's building up to it.
But he proved himself at Derby. At least he had... he caught his teeth at Derby nicely, unlike Ole, who was a nobody.
Now you're coach.
Ole at the wheel.
Before he came, and unlike Arteta was also a nobody, which I still don't understand why he was employed. I said it on this show the first time I was on this show. I still don't understand what they were smoking at the Emirates to hire Arteta. But Frank is proven to be the real deal. They haven't done better than last season though. Sarri did well, but he wanted to leave, I guess. And Chelsea wanted, there's this layer of new, modern, attacking, fresh young managers. People are not even thinking about the results anymore because Chelsea are worse off than they were last season, but they're happy. So maybe it's the happiness that matters and no longer the results. I think that's the new football.
I think they sell the products nowadays. They sell once the product comes with attacking, modern, progressive.
That's why some people
plays on the front foot.
Arteta makes any sense at all, for example.
Just make the fans feel good.
It's
feel good now. It's no more results.
Credit to Arteta. Sorry to continue. Credit to Arteta to an extent. The Arsenal side is not. They're not even the top 10 best teams in the league.
Yeah, that's what we were supposed to make them the best.
Yeah, but I feel like to an extent he has improved them, not their position. Let me wait, just calm down. No rush.
Yes, no rush.
You see what we're talking about?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, yeah. They were losing lots of games when Unai Emery was there. But there was something until the last game they played, they were the only team in the Premier League not to have lost any game in this calendar year. Right. So
how many games were played this calendar year?
It's something.
Before the lockdown, we locked down for how many months?
In March, from January to from January. No, I'm coming. I'm going somewhere. Compared to, I'm going somewhere. I agree. It's not the best, but my point is from what I saw, to an extent, Arsenal was beginning to seem like a team that was difficult to break down. As against what we are seeing before. When Unai was there, any small thing, they were chopping goals here and there.
But they are still chopping goals, no offense.
No, that's why I said up until the last game. I don't even care about the packaging. I don't care about the packaging.
You wouldn't know.
I don't care about the packaging. I'm very happy they're down there. But my point is, statistics has to stand for something. It has to count for something. And that's the fact. Up until the last game they played against Manchester City, that they were. If you ask me, the first 20 minutes they were in the game. till David Luiz came on. They had chances that they could have scored until David Luiz came on and everything just seemed to...
But that is classic Arsenal though. And if we have to delve into this Arsenal thing, it will be like this is an anti-Arsenal show. So we have to run across borders.
I mean, I would have loved to say something about Arsenal, but, the truth is, to be fair, I just looked at the table and the amount of games Arsenal played in this calendar year, and it's quite a lot, to be fair, it's a great point. But I think you've been sold the story, right? And what I normally do is, when a story is sold, which is the job of the media, is to create an agenda and drive it. That's what journalists do. When a story is sold, you take a back seat and look at the facts for yourself. Arteta he doesn't have anything he doesn't have a CV to fall back on. However, when you look at the facts on ground, Arteta the only reason he has the Arsenal job is because he worked under Pep Guardiola. Yeah. First off. Secondly, could another manager have done a better job with that team? Probably yes. Yeah. So you look at what, for example, an Ancelotti is doing at Everton, and that hasn't been talked about in the same light.
Because no modern, progressive.
Yeah, he doesn't have that type. And I think even managers like Eddie Howe should have gotten that job ahead of Arteta.
Let's not talk about Arteta.
No, I'm serious.
No, I think
Eddie doesn't come on the same level as Arteta.
Why?
What level does Arteta
Because even at the level that Arteta is, he's
Because
still
he was
better
packing the water for
Why?
Pep.
Eddie Howe only knows how to start a season very well, and after he just beats Chelsea.
How does
Eddie Howe
Arteta
has
like to
kept-
start season?
Eddie Howe
I'm
has-
just saying.
You are comparing the two.
I'm just saying they are on the same level, and Eddie Howe has more experience.
No,
So
come on.
I'll give
Pep
Arteta. I'll give Arteta at least
Arteta
some
has zero.
points because he's a fresher. Eddie Howe is a PhD holder in not doing anything useful with
I'm
his
sorry.
destiny.
I can't agree to
I'm
that.
just
What
saying.
club?
In what?
I think
what
you guys
club?
have been a
But
little too harsh on Arteta.
But
And you even talked about
it's too
Ancelotti.
harsh.
Where is Everton? How many games have they won even since he joined?
Everton
They're
are doing
12th.
no. Look, you have to realize where Everton were before Ancelotti took over. And I'm not trying to bring
Where were
a king into a conversation where you have servants.
So
You know.
where were they?
I mean, they were not doing well.
I think
Exactly,
anybody
and
that
they're
needs an
12th.
answer for Everton
They're actually
and
closer.
Ancelotti, you should see the Liverpool-Everton game again. And when you get to watch it, you will see for yourself that the Everton that faced Liverpool before Corona is not the same Everton that faced Liverpool now. The
Well,
only
they're far
reason
better
why
team
we-
now.
Yes.
I'm
Far
saying,
better team
the
now.
only reason why
Already
it's
You can't compare
boring
Don
is-
Carlo.
Liverpool
How can
was just-
you bring Don
Can't
Carlo
even bring Don
and
Carlo
Arteta
into
into
Arteta.
the
Or
same
you don't think
conversation?
Liverpool was just so bad last night?
It's totally disrespectful.
So-
We're talking about
It's like
Don
they were
Carlo and
bad.
Arteta.
Nah,
It's
it's
even
too-
it's an insult to
Okay,
Don
you know
Carlo.
what,
I agree.
Not
bring
Liverpool
King
was
to-
bad.
no,
Liverpool
no,
was
no.
bad
You know what, guys,
last
this
night.
game
Bad.
will not end if we don't run to Spain because we need to talk about the travesty, please. I have Shakira, both of us are sharing our guy, PK. And he came out some few days ago. Yeah, Shakira knows, she knows. And he came out to tell us, in truth, he could see the prophecy that as soon as Barca lost points, that Real Madrid were going to take it, and he doubted that Barca was going to lose or were going to get the league. And then we saw the travesty that played out in Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad. So please, plebeians, can we put this matter on the table?
No, I think Real
Who
Madrid.
said
I
this
think it's quite easy to
Who was
say.
it?
Matter with the
No, but it is quite straightforward. 2 points. When the Clasico was played, and the following week Real Madrid lost 2 points. I thought, how do you win an Clasico, a game of that magnitude, and throw away the points the next week? But the reason they're topping now is that head-to-head. And I sat down to analyze it, and I realized when you think about Barcelona as a team, the one person that needs to click is Messi. Everybody's blown away. But Real Madrid, you have a team that they don't have a star quality in, of course, Benzema is a quality player, Ederson is a quality player, but if one person doesn't play well, you can expect someone else to chip in.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference in the title race. And with Messi's shenanigans, looking a bit more, he doesn't quite look like the guy. Obviously, age is something we have to factor in, and motivation is also something you have to factor in. He doesn't quite look like a guy who would do it on 10 out of 10 games anymore. That was Messi. Messi would do it 10 out of 10 times a couple of years ago. So nowadays, I think Messi could do it today, score a hat-trick, and everybody remembers just how much quality this guy has. But when he doesn't, who steps up? Griezmann, no man's land. Suarez, injury prone.
Braithwaite.
Braithwaite, obviously you've got to give him time. He's a player who's just finding his feet at Barcelona. But at Real Madrid, you've got players. Benzema could do it. Hazard could do it. Ramos could score a screamer from somewhere. So that's the edge in the title race. I feel like Real Madrid will win their first title since 2012. Yeah.
Oh, so call it
Yeah, Real Madrid to win.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Offside.
I agree with Real Madrid, and I feel Barcelona also drop more points because one of the key games they have to play will happen against Athletic Club Bilbao. And one thing some people don't understand or don't realize is the fact that the last 4 meetings between these two sides, Barcelona have not won the last 4 meetings between these two sides. Basically, 3 of them came in the league, and the last one, the most recent one, actually came in La Liga. So it's definitely going to be, apart from the fact that they dropped points, Real Madrid have gone up. They'll be nervous to an extent. They know that they have to win the game. The pressure will be on them. And I don't think Zidane will lose his hold at the top of the table after this. It's been so long.
I think one thing that no one is talking about is the Zinedine Zidane factor.
Oh, I wanted to throw that to you. He just won his 200
The Zidane factor.
Yeah.
He's the most underrated football manager in history. I mean, 3 Champions League titles back to back, winning the La Liga 1 out of the 3 times. And if someone with great PR like Pep wins Champions League 3 back to back,
greatest of all time,
he's going to be in the museum, right? But this guy did it, and everyone was like, okay, fluke. Was it a fluke? It can't be a fluke anyway.
Now,
I think it was more about Ronaldo.
We said it was about Ronaldo then.
Yeah.
That Ronaldo would guarantee you 40 goals a season, right? Now, he came back. I was like, why will you come back? You want to ruin your legacy.
Yeah.
And this guy has come back. If he wins this league,
Yeah.
I think in the last 20 years or so, I will regard him as the greatest manager that's coached a Spanish team before. Forget that it's Real Madrid. We said Real Madrid have always won. Real Madrid have always won. No manager had ever won the Champions League back to back since it turned into a league format in was in 1992 or thereabout. And won 3 on the bounce. 3. That's absolute magic. And he's coming back at a time you've heard Ronaldo has gone, Real Madrid is going down, and this guy is coming back. He's going to win the league. If he does it,
Then again,
sorry,
incredible.
I just remembered something.
We'll have to bring you back for the episode if they do win it, because of course that would be decided in just a little over less than a month. But I agree to a large extent that he goes about his business very quietly.
Yeah.
He doesn't run a great PR like most managers do.
I mean, except when it comes to Bale.
Underrated in many ways.
Yes.
But the way he's going about his business is quite solid. He is very realistic with the options he has on the table. And people don't mention it, but he plays a lot of young players also. And that is something that gives you an easy pass nowadays. When you put in a couple of young players, or they tell you, oh, great, he's working with the academies and whatnot. So when you factor in that his best player hasn't been firing this season, in Eden Hazard, and he still found a way to manage all that and still give the club some sort of a great standing. They go on to win it, I agree with that. 20 years, greatest manager, maybe not, but in Spain, last 5 years, maybe.
Spain,
But
Okay.
the loss, just very quickly, the loss Sergio Ramos last night. Now, it remains to see how that will affect the team. The loss Eden Hazard, they managed to still compete with Barcelona. Now, the loss of Sergio Ramos through an injury.
How bad
remains
is
to be
injury?
seen.
Oh, that's
I think it's a knee on ice on the knee, but he'll be great.
Least
I think he'll be fine.
10 days. But you know what? It's time for us to look at the games in our crystal ball and play some tickets and see what is up. We'll be right back after this break, and then we'll take it forward from there. So we've talked about the wonders of the dynamism of Fernandes and Pogba. We get to see them again in action when they get to face Sheffield United. Sheffield have been battered. They spot tickets up and down. So I'm going to throw this to you. Why are you laughing? It's my ticket. Offside, please talk to us. One was wounded. The other one was flat, one kind.
Well, I think Sheffield were unfortunate last time. Remember, they scored the goal that wasn't given. So I think they should have won that game against Manchester United. Should I say my mind? Pogba will win this one. No, don't worry. No, Pogba will win it for United. Given.
That's a tough game, actually.
I know it's a tough game, but the Manchester United I saw in the last game, I believe they're going to win.
That's the problem with Manchester United. The Manchester United you saw does not mean the Manchester United you will see.
Pogba would score. I'm telling you now, Pogba would score. United will win by at least 2 goals. Take it to the bank.
Manchester United is a team that can beat anybody. I can lose to anybody.
Sure.
So I always go for a draw for Man United.
So speaking of a draw, you're talking 8.90.
8.90.
You know, it's a
That's
draw,
very good.
and it's not it's huge, and it's not bad because it's a possibility. That's a fact.
I think generally the team Sheffield United, they're not it's not a team that relies on one particular person. It's a strong machine, and we've been underrating them all season. We feel they're going to come and they're going to drop form. And they keep surprising us. They keep proving us wrong. Then this COVID happened, the lockdown happened. They came back and they lost this game. And then I feel a lot of people are beginning to think, oh, maybe it's the time for.
Have they lost momentum, though?
That's
Some
what.
people
That's
got
what.
momentum
I
boost.
think that's what some people are thinking now. They're about to lose momentum, but I don't think so. I think they're going to be very difficult when they against Manchester United. And I think if I'm going to be putting money on it, I'll go for a draw.
A draw.
Yeah.
Yubi, are you going for a draw?
I'd say a draw is a safe call, and interestingly, on the Nairabet website, it guarantees you something 8.90, which is a great offer for a draw, and that's because United can draw anybody, and of course they can beat anybody on their day. And given they've lost their last two games, Sheffield, Dean Henderson obviously cannot play. It weakens them a bit, so I'd say United will win.
A straight win.
A straight win, yeah, for United.
I feel like a crazy person today, so maybe I might just go for a Sheffield shocking.
You like crazy,
I like
crazy
Christmas
bet.
bets. See, I can't pad it. I can't pad it, but let me just get 5.
You still think Liverpool will win the league?
Oof. I'm so pained.
You have 50k on the line.
I have 50k at least for the next few days. I still have 50k on the line. So, but I'll tell you this though: if you have a Christmas bet, I want you to be thinking about getting some money on the side of Sheffield, because you know what, you never bet against the Chris Wilder. Forget what happened last game.
Fair enough.
Anything is
Yeah.
possible. So I'll tell you, a draw, a hex, or definitely a straight win for Sheffield. See, at the Chris. But if I Chris and I get money, it's okay. So let's move on to the next business of the day. And the next game would be, let's see. Whew. Looking at the website, we see that there are good odds here on this particular one. So if you want to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Instagram, by Twitter, or go to the website straight, or YouTube at Nairabet, or Kicking It with Nairabet. Make sure you use the hashtag so every thought you have can be placed in. Liverpool get to face Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has been one of the games or teams that, after Corona, it's like their destiny was dying when Corona came. And then, unlike every other thing that was dying with Corona, Corona revived their chances against us, firing on all cylinders and everything. Upside, can that thing that they did, everything started for Liverpool. Can Crystal Palace delay the destiny of Liverpool?
Wow. What's happened to Liverpool in recent times? Even before the pandemic, it's been like a shocker. Like, they went from up here to just crash. We've seen some of their key players have dropped form. And I understand they're missing some of their players. The left back in Robertson, he didn't play the last game.
Yeah.
Now they had Milner injured in the last game. They also had another centre back. What's his name? I've forgotten the centre back.
Yep,
Yeah,
Matip.
Matip got injured in the last game. So these are things you have to factor into this game. I think giving them a straight win at this point may be a little bit too risky. Because, as I said, we don't know the Liverpool side that may turn up. Yes, the Liverpool side. Yeah, Salah is expected to return to the side. But then again, that's the Liverpool we've been seeing in recent times, even before the pandemic. You don't know the side that will turn up. You don't know how they will perform. For them to even play the new guy, Minamino that was signed.
And they're trying to force us that he's a great player. It's okay.
I think it would be safer to say Liverpool win or draw. I think that's just, it might be a
Win or draw.
Yeah,
Is it
the
a
odds will be
goalless
very
draw?
low.
Because you know these things matter on the website. You have to put all these things down.
No, on the website it's
No,
actually.
you can go win or draw. You can
Win
go
or
win
draw.
or
Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
straight win or draw. Yes.
Win or draw.
Yeah, you can go win or
Safe
draw.
enough.
But the odds will be
I'll ra-
very low. I
I'd
think
rather
that's the safest.
I'd rather go for both teams to score. 2.25 here.
Definitely.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Definitely.
Both teams to score is a popular call, and you'd normally not have a huge odd on that game. So I believe both teams to score would be a good call.
I'm in the school of thought of both teams to score, because you see, you have to pad your ticket, and when you pad it with sense, that means that even if one team score, you can still get your on the other side. Let me move to another game. See, talking about games that make me get money makes me happy, because this is the pandemic time. So back to business. We have another game. This is a team that in recent times nobody rates them again, but Oluwa rates them as
What team?
Vicky no 5, but Baba like
Arsenal guys more than always. Arsenal. So Arsenal is going to be playing Southampton. On a good day, I would say Southampton should be the team we should be doing deliverance services for. But considering the fact that just like Crystal Palace, they just bounced back with fantastic wins, do you feel like this is the best time Arteta should be facing a Southampton? How would you call it?
Look,
Offside.
Danny Ings is in great form. I'm just gonna let her do the rest.
What is the top?
No, I mean, I agree with him. I feel like if one of the toughest teams, apart from the regular top four sides that Arsenal should be meeting at this point is Southampton. Of course, their manager Ralph Hasenhüttl is, he's one of the best young, one of the best and most experienced managers.
That's the guy that's doing a good job.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I changed it. Yeah, I changed it.
Getting to Zabi.
I thought about it. Yeah, one of the most experienced managers. In the league at this point. Yeah, last season they struggled with relegation, but how good they've done this season is a statement of how good he is as a manager. True. And going into the last lap of the season, this is where they need every point they can get to see how far they can go on the table. Against Arsenal, at this point is like, Sarah, any points you can get against Arsenal, just grab your copy now.
Arsenal have a defensive crisis, and you don't want to have a defensive crisis against an informed Danny Ings. He looks razor sharp. He looks in great shape, and if the Euros were in this summer, I think he would probably be a part of that party. So I would say a Southampton straight win. It's
absolutely.
I mean, against an Arsenal, it's a tough
That's
call,
a great
but
call,
I'd say a Southampton straight win. Yeah.
Are you for Southampton straight win at all?
No, Arsenal is the kind of team that, just like Manchester United, they can't predict.
No, that was not United.
They are worse.
They can do well today, fumble tomorrow. The loss, the last loss will have done a lot of damage against Brighton, and I'm not sure they can really pick themselves up and beat Southampton away. But is it away these days with empty?
Neutral ground.
It's a kind of neutral ground.
Yeah.
But I think I'll go for Southampton win or draw. I'd rather play it safe.
Yeah.
But I don't see us not winning.
Southampton win or draw. Wow, that's where the confidence is now. All time low. So we're going to get into the Chelsea-Manchester City game, and please, I feel like kneeling down. Be gentle, guys.
Suffering.
My heart, see, my heart is in this game. How do you see this game playing out? Offside.
Why you always start with me?
Because I ladies first.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me.
Oh,
Take
yeah,
it easy.
Oh, yeah, let me go to Ali. I can't have to gentle.
So I can tackle whatever they say.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Chelsea City.
Okay, put that for head.
City win.
City win. I said be gentle now. You didn't even give reasons why.
City win. I think
City
Lampard
win.
is too naive in many big games. I don't think he's shown. That's the one asterisk I've had on his time at Chelsea. When it comes up against the big teams, he still wants to be fundamentally the identity he has. Attack, press, attack. But when you play against the top sides, you've got to show a bit of pragmatism and be a bit humble. Play to your strength and limit your weaknesses. And the way he plays exposes his teams to the teams that have great pace. And I mean, City looked very, very sharp. Kevin De Bruyne looked as if he was son on military training in service in South Korea. So I think City will win quite easily.
1.89.
Oh, 1.89.
1.89.
That's the odds. I'm going to say this to you, offside. If Chelsea's going to get anything out of this game, do you feel like the starting lineup that Lampard used for the last game with Loftus-Cheek, for instance, with Mason Mount and what's his face, Reece James in the squad as well? Do you feel like those kind of boys are going to be the guys that will get him a point against Manchester City?
First of all, Loftus-Cheek has no business starting the game right now. The guy is not fit. I mean, he's talented, yeah, it's a given, but the guy is not ready to start. So I agree with what he said, because sometimes Lampard's lineups can just throw everything before the first whistle. He has given up the game. But then again, let's remember the first leg of this tie. It ended in 2-1 victory to Manchester City. Chelsea scored first, and Manchester City were given a tough. It was a very interesting game. It could have gone either way. If you rewatch that game, remember very, very well, it could have gone either way. But City were obviously more experienced. Chelsea didn't take their chances. That was the downside they had in that game. So in this game, I feel like, Lampard is more experienced. The players are obviously more experienced.
And
the
lineup was able to get points.
Of course,
Liverpool,
yes, of course. So
really
I mean,
crazy,
at this point of the season, especially with the break, anything can happen. Chelsea before the Sunday's game that Chelsea played against Aston Villa, Chelsea hadn't come from behind to win many games.
I think they did that just once.
Yes, many games. So there obviously is a change in the mentality. The players are more mature. After they had gone behind in the first half, in the second half, they were willing to go out there and get the result. So these are things that have changed between the start of the season to this point. So yeah, we faced Manchester City in the first leg. It was competitive. It could have gone either way. It can go either way at this point in time. So I would say a win or a draw for Chelsea at I think 1.89 odds or so, which is a fair one.
I love
Very
when
possible.
you talk bets and odds, and you know what? Anybody can talk bets and odds if you just go to the
You cash out. Don't worry. You cash out. Put your money in it. You cash out.
and you cash out. There you have it. I think I like having this kind of energy, and I like sitting here sometimes. It makes me feel like Rosé. I promised the producer I was going to say "huh" before the show ends. So huh. Thank you guys for coming through, and Lady, I hope to
Pleasure.
smile with Chelsea winning, on the next one.
Yeah,
And
we
I-
hope we can bring Akin soon when his prediction comes true. If Zidane wins the league, it'll be a great time to.
I'm still holding out for Barca. I like underdogs, but right now Barca is the underdog.
No, Messi can never be an
How
underdog.
can
Barca
Barca
can
be the
never,
Can never be an
never
underdog.
be the
Can pick it
underdog.
Real are still the underdog despite being
Yeah.
on top.
PK
Yeah.
is
They had a
underdog.
slow start.
PK wanted to
slow,
right?
very slow.
You can't put the greatest of all time as an underdog.
No, Ronaldo. Let's not insult people here.
Thank you very much.
Pele,
Ronaldo.
please.
I'm just saying.
Ronaldo.
Oh, Pele for you. That's great.
There you have it, guys. Go onto the website and follow up the conversation, and we will see you on the next round. Wash your hands, stay at home if you don't need to go out, and keep it safe. Bye.